to serve our Father's land with love and strength and faith, to serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. Thank you, our esteemed ministers and guests that are here. Please may be seated. The most authentic and dynamic peacemaker of the time, our distinguished senator representing Zamfara North Senatorial District, distinguished Senator Sahabia Damoda Migora.
Your Excellency, sir, we are highly honored and delighted to be here this evening. The team arrived at Zamfara State since on Monday, 23rd. And we are here basically as part of our study and our curriculum of the Army War College. The Army War College itself was established in February 2017 to bridge a very critical gap in our operational level of command. So we're saddled with the responsibility to train well-educated operational level leaders for the Nigerian Army with capability to deploy land power within a joint environment. And that forms the essence of having other services. We have participants also from Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, as well as the security agencies and others that will come from ministries, departments, and agencies of government, as well as our allied friendly countries, because we're expected to operate in a joint and combined environment. And since 2017, the college has produced 294 officers across the military and the agencies, as well as allied countries within Africa. The college has quickly grown to international standard. We are doing everything within our capability to ensure that we maintain that standard. This talk is actually based on the need to cooperate and coordinate our operations with other agencies. So we are here basically with the team of developing strategies for operations in the whole of government and society approach to internal security in Nigeria. The college, at the beginning of this module in 2017, also visited Zamfara State. And from what we have seen so far during this visit, we have seen that there have been a lot of improvements from what we saw that time and what is on ground now. So we want to congratulate His Excellency, the Executive Government, for this wonderful achievement. It has been our observation as a college that we need to adopt a more comprehensive approach in our conduct of operation that informs the purpose of the theme of this visit, so that we see how the entire society, the government, other elements of national power will complement the military effort, so that we can have lasting peace, so that our operations can be more effective. We have been trying to also adopt both kinetic and non-kinetic approach, and the benefit of the non-kinetic approach comes more from the society. And from what we have seen so far, I want to also congratulate the Force Commander that wherever they are operating, they are really enjoying the confidence of the local community there, and have been quite successful. So, Your Excellency, sir, we really appreciate this opportunity to visit you despite your very tight schedule. I want to also thank you for the support you have given to the team since our arrival at the airport in Sokoto down to Buzaoya and all through our movement. We have been very supportive. We are indeed very grateful. And I want to also thank you for your support to the ongoing operations in the state. And inshallah, we pray that total peace will be restored in due course. Thank you very much, sir.
As you are all aware that Zamfara State is the epic center of insecurity of Nigeria. We have been battling for so many kinds of insecurity for decades. With some of you work here in Zamfara, so a lot of generals who work here, and we are happy. Most of them perform wonderfully well for combating the insecurity in the state. And even because of the army, the situation that will be in Zamfara State will be a trouble situation. We have been complaining day and night. I was in touch with the GOC this morning around, I did not sleep, up to 11 o'clock in the morning. We have been talking with him and the commander of the Nigerian Army in the state for some issues that happen in the state, which the security agency are doing their best. The only issue we have here is to work in collaboration with all the security agencies to share intelligence and to work with the intelligence. Because sharing intelligence without working with us is useless. You have to work in synergy with each other in order to deal with the situation that we have at hand. This is a new dimensions that happens in Nigeria, which we have to unite and fight for one cause and to remain as one Nigeria. If you look at what is happening in other states, be it agitations, religious conflict, banditry, Boko Haram, all other things, sometimes I shed tears for our gallant soldiers because we have a lot of things to do. You are everywhere. All of the part of this country are in crisis. And with the limited numbers of manpower we are able to sort some of the issues that we have. Our own as leaders is just to be praying for all of you to succeed on the fight of all the criminal activities in Nigeria and to support you in any way that is possible. We met as governors and security chiefs of the country, and we discussed the modalities and the best way to tackle the issues of insecurity that we have with Mr. President, which we governors have to help and get some equipment, the modern equipment for the Nigerian Army and other security agencies. We have to tell ourselves the truth. We are lacking two things to fight these criminalities: modern war equipment and manpower. When we are in the National Assembly, we know how we fight to have been allocated recruitment for Nigerian Army and the police and other security agencies, which that time it is about 10,000 per annum to be recruited into Nigerian Army so that you have more manpower in order to face the challenges that we have. But I'm not sure if that program is still on, because if, like in Zamfara State, we have less than 1 or 2,000 army, how do you expect that this army will confront the massive recruited bandit that we have in our forest? It's not possible. Many of them were killed, their family becomes widows. We pity all of you. But the government has to come up with a lasting solution to these activities. And the only solution is either to call back all the retired army officers. They should come back to the service so that we may have more manpower that we can deal with the situation we have. And we have been we give our proposal to Mr. President in that aspect, which I believe the security are looking into it. We write a name all of us, the frontliners, governors, who are faced with these situations. And we advise Mr. President, the security chiefs, to make sure that within limited time, those that were retired who still have active capacity should come back to the service so that we have more manpower to face the challenges that we have. But with this recruitment, if it can get a fast track to recruit more officers and more soldiers so as to be sent to most of the crisis states. I was just watching an episode that happens in a number of states today, which is unbearable to each and every government. So we have no other options than to work with what we have at hand before getting the full fledged of what we are needed. Therefore, as I said, we are always praying for you because we know the challenges that you people are facing. The GOC is not sleeping. Anytime I call him or get him, and he will respond immediately. The issue we have this morning, when I contacted him around 7 o'clock in the morning, he immediately responded to what we want. So we thank you very much for the rapid response for all issues. And this is how we want all the officers to be, because you are serving your fatherland and you are there giving training for that. Army doesn't fear. But the taxes you're supposed to do as at now is not for you to be waiting for an enemy to attack, but for you to take the battle to their doorstep. Because army are not supposed to wait for enemy to attack them, rather than to take the battle to the doorstep of those enemies. If we can be taking the battle or the war into their doorstep, they could have been swept out by now. But unfortunately, sometimes we are reluctant. We are just waiting for them. If they attack them, we say, okay, please, there is some attack in one of the areas or one of the local governments. Before the response team will be mobilized to that area. But the only thing we can finish with the situation is to identify where those criminals is and to take the war into their doorstep. If we cannot do that, I don't think this issue of insecurity will vanish. Therefore, the commandant and other participants, welcome you to the state, and we appreciate for choosing to come to the state as cost one to come to Zamfara, and particularly you follow them in person to come to Zamfara to see what we have done. We have significantly achieved so many things in the way of governance, and we believe you go around with your team to see by yourself what we have done, so you can compare and contrast of what the government did within 3 years. In order to have a lasting peace, we constructed Ruga, which is almost 70% completion. Our aim of doing that is to bring Fulani in one place. Those that are scattered in various forests should be gathered in one community so that we may have checks and balances and for proper monitoring. If you go to Daroga, we intend to do it in each and every zone of the state. We have 3 senatorial zones. We intend to put each and so that most of the Fulanis that are scattered in most of the zones should be converged in one of the Ruga in that zone. And they are willing to go to that Ruga and stay, because some of them, when we're into dialoguing with them, the major complaint they have is that they need most of these institutions like schools, Islamia for their religious teachings, hospitals, and other social amenities. If they have been complaining that they were left behind. Based on that, we decided to do the Ruga and put all such amenities into one place for them to be educated, because some of them, as you know, have no any sort of background rather than moving from one place to another with their cattle. So we intend to put them in that place, and they accepted to do so. That is part of our negotiating with them, which you rightly said that war can be ended into our options, kinetic and non-kinetic. We apply all of the options, and all of the option has worked. When we dialogue with them for the first 1 year, Zamfara experienced peace. But later, some political actors come in, and we have no option rather than to back up from the dialogue, and we face them. But it works, and I'm still hoping that the security should look into the option of doing so because of lack of manpower that we have. All we need is if we can shoot all of the criminals in one day, if it's possible. But we have to tell ourselves the truth, that we don't have that capacity. Therefore, we have to employ any options that can bring peace in this country. And therefore, thank you very much for your comment. And be rest assured that the state government will do everything possible to support all the security agencies in the state. And we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lead us in the right path, so that, and to give us courage, particularly you, so that you can defeat the enemies that we have in this country.